Dude, I'm excited, man. I can't wait. This reveal is gonna be awesome. I've got it live now, and if you get to catch it live, this is great. If you don't get to catch it live, there'll be a recap on YouTube that you guys can watch. So if you get to miss a little bit of it, you'll probably be catching this as a YouTube video. We got the bingo card ready. If you haven't already watched it, you can bingo card along. There'll be a link to that. You guys can grab that. I'm like really excited. Twitch chat says hello. They are ready. The YouTube chat says hello. Hello. It's gonna be like the first time ever that I'm like recording while live and talking to you guys from like the past, present, future. I'm like super excited. I can't wait.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson.
Bingo point!
Thanks for joining us for today's Path of Exile live stream. We have a packed show today with announcements for Path of Exile 2, as well as the exclusive unveiling of Path of Exile Affliction, which launches on December 8th on PC and Mac, and on December 13th on console.
Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Huntsman wings.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We'll start with Path of Exile 2, where Jonathan will walk you through our latest announcements. Mark will then take you on a deep dive into the new Path of Exile Affliction Challenge League, which launches in 1 week. He'll cover the league mechanics, its rewards, some new content we're adding to the core Path of Exile experience, and some large metagame changes. I'll then show you our annual core supporter packs, and we'll head into our live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask us your questions from Twitch chat. After the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes.
I'd like to hand over to Jonathan Rogers, Game Director of Path of Exile 2.
I can't wait.
Hey guys, it's been a few months since we introduced you to the Druid in Path of Exile 2. But one of the things that we're really focusing on now is how varied each of the classes feels to play. The Monk darts around quickly from enemy to enemy, building and unleashing combos.
Oh, I can't wait.
If he doesn't stay in combat, he loses momentum and has to build it up again. The Warrior, on the other hand, is like a slow but unstoppable freight train. A warrior commits to big attacks and relies on stunning his enemies to stay safe in the thick of combat. When an opening presents itself, a warrior can use even larger attacks to demolish his enemies.
That's really cool. That looks really good.
The Huntress seamlessly moves from melee to ranged combat and back. The true damage potential of the Huntress is only unlocked when you learn to combine ranged and melee abilities together.
The Huntress is definitely my pick next to the Mercenary, but like the crossbow from previous things just looks so good.
And then there are the Spellcasters. The Sorceress is a pure caster who much prefers to stay at range and drop powerful spells on her foes.
Yet he goes right in the middle of everybody.
Surrounded by enemies, she would rather use an ability to escape than to take them on directly. The Druid is also a spellcaster, but unlike the Sorceress, he uses his spells as a means to support his melee abilities.
That looks so
and by melee abilities, we
good.
mean he can turn into a giant animal.
Oh my God.
Each of these classes feels extremely different to play, but we want to go even further. It's time to check out the Mercenary.
Yes! Give me the gun!
Out there I won't take, so long as the pay's good and a crossbow can solve it.
That looks amazing. That looks amazing.
I'll take them all down, one bolt at a time.
When thinking about each new class, we really try to think about how we can make combat feel different from all the others. For the Mercenary, that difference is the crossbow. A crossbow is fundamentally different than a regular bow because it fires instantly instead of needing to be drawn back. This means that you need immediate feedback. Clicking the fire button should make the character shoot instantly, just like in a shooter. As soon as we experienced that, we realized that there are a lot of design lessons to learn from shooters, and so we fully embraced them. In Path of Exile 2, we have crossbows that work like sniper rifles.
Oh, I'm so in.
Shotguns.
I'm so in.
And assault rifles.
Oh my God. Can't wait.
But in order to really get shooter-like gameplay, we wanted to go further. In Path of Exile 2, we now support WASD movement.
That's insane.
You can now walk around in any direction independent of aiming. In fact, if this is your preferred method of gameplay, you can use it on any class, regardless of what weapon type you're using.
That's awesome.
You can change between click to move or WASD at any time.
That's great. That's fantastic.
You can only hold 2 crossbows at a time, but Path of Exile 2 is all about interesting combinations of abilities, and this is where ammo skills come in.
Wait, no! No ammo! No!
This is a burst shot crossbow, and right now I have armor-piercing ammo equipped, which makes it very effective when facing a group of enemies, since it pierces right through them.
Bloody horrors!
I gotta manage
But
ammo!
there are other ammos too. For a bigger single target, it might be a good idea to switch to Incendiary. The more
that looks
projectiles
so
hit the target,
good.
the stronger the ignite, so you'll want to get up nice, close and personal with this one. If you have a bunch of targets running at you, you might want to slow them down. In this case, you could switch to Permafrost Burst Shot. Shooting a bunch of smaller enemies at range will chill them, and
I
potentially
think
even
it's.
freeze
I
them in
think
place.
ammo's the bolts in the bottom. You can see it on here. He's just
Once you
swapping
have some
the
frozen
skills.
enemies though, you can switch back to Armor Piercing. Shooting a frozen enemy with Armor Piercing Burst Shot will explode the ice, doing a huge amount of damage to all nearby enemies.
Yeah, see, he's swapping the skills when he shoots.
Another feature crossbows have is attachments. This is a grenade launcher. As you can see, when I equip it, it appears on the underside of the crossbow. These
No
attachments
shot.
are just like skill gems, so you effectively get extra skill slots.
No
And you can augment
way!
these with support gems, just like regular skills.
What? Oh no, that's crazy. Oh my god.
These grenades take a while to explode, so it's a good idea to pair them with some kind of crowd control, like Permafrost Burst Shot.
Oh my god, I can't wait to play this. I can't wait.
We have other grenades too though. This attachment is a flash grenade. It does barely any damage, but it does a huge amount of stun. It can be a great opener before you run into combat.
Surprise!
Now, here's another attachment, an oil grenade. Firing one of these grenades coats the ground and nearby enemies in oil. Oil slows enemies down, so it's another useful crowd control mechanic.
You can see they refill too. You can see in the bottom the shots refill.
Now, another thing that oil can do is be set on fire. Any burning enemy or explosion will ignite the oil, causing extra burning damage.
It just looks beautiful, like the whole thing.
One of the problems with burst shot crossbows is that each pellet doesn't do much damage individually. This means that if enemies have armor, then it will be very effective preventing that damage. But thankfully, you can equip an additional crossbow in your second weapon set to deal with the weaknesses of your primary weapon. This is a rapid shot crossbow. Rapid shot is great for closing on enemies because you can shoot while running. In Path of Exile 2, we now have the ability to allow you to use some skills while moving. Being able to create skills like this opens up a lot of new design space and allows us to really increase the pace of combat.
This looks amazing. His ammo's going down, but you hear it reload, so I don't think we have to worry about like juggling ammo. I think you just have to wait for
armor-piercing version of
reloads.
rapid shot slowly erodes a monster's armor. Once the armor is fully broken, you can easily switch back to burst shot to deal much more damage. Being able to run while shooting with rapid shot is also great for when you want to perform a fighting retreat.
Reload!
Using permafrost ammo with rapid shot is also useful if you need to retreat. When you shoot the ground, it creates ice crystals.
Oh, that's cool.
If you draw monsters back over these crystals, they explode, chilling the monsters. It's great if you want to set up a safe zone before pulling the next pack.
He says that like it's an MMO.
Slowing enemies down can come in handy if you want to use the incendiary version of rapid shot. Using this skill requires that you charge up a little bit before it fires, but as it continues to heat up, it will do more and more damage. It has a really large clip size, so you can just keep firing and firing with it. But the other really useful feature is that when the crossbow is heated up, it adds extra fire damage to any grenade that you launch.
That's cool. That's really cool. Look at the grenade. Oh my god. Takes forever to explode.
Now I've been using explosive grenades here, but it will work equally as well with flash or oil grenades too. If you use it with oil grenades, the oil will catch fire immediately.
There's a counter on the top too, up here, where I guess depending on how long he's shooting the crossbow for.
Another crossbow type that you can find is Power Shot. This one works just like a classic sniper rifle. Use it with armor-piercing ammo and it will penetrate armor on targets. So it's a good idea to use when something's really tough.
Back down or die!
Now this skill has another interesting interaction with armor break. If an enemy has its armor broken, then your Power Shot hits a weak spot and does a huge amount of single target damage, with a bunch of extra stun for good measure.
I hope I can like mix and match the monk with this class. I think that'd be really cool. Like I really want to play the monk a lot and I want to play the huntress. So I'm hoping that I can like in classic with like
Now, the incendiary
POE
version of
be able
Power
to
Shot
mix
is
the
more like a
classes.
rocket launcher. It does a big explosive blast at a distance. One of the really useful features of this version is that you can explode any grenades that happen to be on the ground.
That's cool. That's super cool.
This combo also works really well with Incendiary Rapid Shot. I'm going to charge up the heat on my crossbow, shoot out a bunch of grenades, and then start the fireworks with a Power Shot.
I want him to click on the skill point button. He's got a skill point. I want to see the skill point. Please click the skill point button.
The ice version of Power Shot creates frost walls at a distance. This is great for crowd controlling monsters in tight passages.
That's cool. That looks really good. Oh my god.
The wall segments have other uses too. If they get destroyed by monsters, then they will explode, doing a small amount of damage.
Block him in!
I like the environment a lot that they're setting up in POE too.
Now, remember that burst shot combo with frozen enemies we did earlier? That works with ice walls too. Let's put burst shot back on. Now I can fill up this area with ice walls, then shoot them with armor-piercing burst shot for a huge
that's
amount of damage.
Call of Exile or Path of Duty. I like that. That's really smart. This is super cool. I still want to play a monk though, but I want to do like a monk
It's time to
mercenary.
face the boss for this area. Let's see how we fare against her with all the skills I've shown you so far.
Oh, this is gonna be good. What? Oh my god, that looks like the boss from Clock Tower. Our guy does no damage. We do 0 damage. Oh, never mind. Grenades do damage. Grenades do damage.
No.
Oh my god, she just split into two?
Rapid fire!
It feels like the boss from any of the Clock Tower games. Like old school Clock Tower. Dude, our guy's about to die. The grenades are really strong. Oh my god. My guy's she stunned Grenader! Nice. That was really cool.
What is going on in
That
this
was really cool.
godforsaken city?
Okay.
And that's
I can
the
get behind
Mercenary.
that.
It feels totally different than
Nice.
anything we've made before, and shows you the range of what's possible in Path of Exile
I
2.
can't wait. That's exciting. That's super exciting. I can't wait. That's great. All right, Affliction now. Let's go.
We're going to be showing off a lot more about Path of Exile 2 as we approach its beta, but in the meantime, we've got a Path of Exile 1 expansion coming out next week. I'm going to hand over to Mark, also known as Neon, to show you what's in store for POE 1.
Thanks, Jonathan. Well, let's just go ahead and get straight on into it. Here's the trailer for Path of Exile Affliction.
Let's go.
Something moves in the mists. Something.
New class?
sinister.
Ranger rework? Ranger rework?
Thorn. Rot.
Was that a crossbow?
Plague. And claw.
No, it's a regular bow.
The affliction spreads. It hungers for more. Tread lightly in the wildwood, which shifts and bites. Accept our help, the ancient
what
power
the heck is
of the
that?
Asmiri.
Is that a new class?
Beware the spirits that yearn for freedom,
What was that?
and the heart of evil that waits in the dark.
Wildwood Ascendancies? Ultimatum!
Ready
Ah!
yourself. I will be waiting.
Let's go! It's back, boys! Ultimatum's back! Let's go!
In the Affliction League, you will encounter sacred wisps, which beckon you to enter overgrown passageways that lead to the Viridian Wildwood. A vile affliction has covered this forest with a foreboding darkness.
What is
You'll
that
need to
weapon?
uncover the forest mysteries to put a stop to the source of the affliction.
What is that?
As you approach the darkness, the wisps burn away its affliction. Make sure you tread carefully, because they only have a limited amount of power. But be warned, the darkness is full of cursed monsters that emerge to
Is
kill.
this Synthesis League 2.0?
As you explore, you might see other types of wisps trapped inside the darkness. The Wildwood is trying to guide you towards clues about its affliction. Follow the trails of wisps by collecting them, and you may uncover many different secrets. New characters to find, shrines, boss battles, and all kinds of new encounters are lurking in the forest just waiting for you to discover them. There are many rewards to earn for those brave enough to seek them.
What is that?
When the sacred wisps
What was
run
that?
out of energy, they will return you back to where you came from.
That was a new unique.
Any other types of wisps you have collected will return with you to Rayclast. These wisps, having been saved from the affliction, disperse into the environment and inhabit randomly chosen monsters in the area, increasing
What?
their power and also their rewards. The different types of wisps have different effects on monsters, and sometimes more than one type will inhabit a single monster, making the fight even harder and even more rewarding. If this happens to a boss, you could be in for a tough fight, but if you can overcome it, your efforts will not be in vain. Primal Wisps grant an item rarity bonus to inhabited monsters.
Oh!
Wild Wisps grant an item quantity
Oh!
bonus, and Vivid Wisps cause them to drop currency items. If a monster gets all three types, they'll drop more items of a higher rarity and a lot of currency.
Dang, Divine Orb!
While exploring the Wildwood, you might find some of the last few Asmeri wanderers who have managed to survive in the forest since it was cursed. Each of them have different survival specializations, and they are willing to teach you if you agree to help them defeat the source of the Affliction, the King in the Mists. Choose which of the Asmeri that you will complete quests for to unlock one of 3 new Ascendancy classes, which you can have in addition to your regular Ascendancy class.
What?
Up to 8 points for these classes are unlocked as you complete more quests for the Asmeri you are training
Wait,
under.
what?
The Warden of Eves can teach you to become a Warden of the Magi, a powerful class that takes advantage of wilderness knowledge. A Warden of the Magi can learn to use tinctures which coat their weapon, granting various powerful effects. You
Wait!
can equip tinctures in your flask slots and toggle them on and off at will. You can only have one enabled at a time, but the effects are quite conditional, so you may want to have more than one equipped and swap between them during combat. For example, equip the Ironwood Tincture to gain the benefit of always stunning enemies on full life. Tinctures can also get random mods. This one in particular adds stacks of wither to targets on full life and steals frenzy charges on hit, which makes it great as an initiator. When you are fighting rare monsters or finishing off tough bosses, you will want to swap to the Oak Branch Tincture, which grants Culling Strike, increased damage against enemies on low life, and has a chance to steal a mod from rare enemies
Wait,
you
that's
kill.
insane!
You can buy more tinctures from the Warden of Eves using Primal Wisps when you find her in the forest, so keep an eye out for her. As a Warden of the Magi gains more Ascendancy points, they gain access to more skills that let them further specialize in tinctures. For example, Nature's Concoction allows you to invest in having your tinctures enhance your flasks.
Wait, what?
This Ascendancy skill makes it important to think about which slots your tinctures are placed in, and what flasks they are adjacent to. You will have better uptime on those flasks and they'll be stronger as a result. But there are plenty more skills to choose even if you don't want to engage with tinctures. For example, another new ability to unlock is Barkskin. It's a reservation skill that causes bark to grow all over your body, increasing armor.
Oh, delving!
As you take damage, the bark falls off, increasing your
Delving!
evasion. Over time, the bark will grow back, removing the evasion bonus but increasing your armor again.
That's perfect for Delve.
The Breaker of Oaths can teach you to become a Warlock of the Mists, an Ascendancy class specializing in the darker arts of the Asmeri. One powerful ability you can choose is Blood Hunt, which grants an active skill called Ravenous. This skill lets you see what type a monster is under its life bar, whether it is a demon, beast, undead, construct, or humanoid. Consuming a corpse with this skill gives a buff to damage against that type of monster, and reduces damage taken by it. You can only have one type active at a time, so it's a good idea to choose wisely for the area that you are in.
That's okay.
Some bosses like the Maven are eldritch in nature and don't conform to the regular corpses that you have access to, but don't worry. The Breaker of Oaths has a shop where you can trade wild wisps for corpses that you can place on the ground wherever you are. Buy an Eldritch corpse and you will be able to get the bonus while fighting Eldritch entities like the Maven.
That's really cool.
You may notice that most of the corpses he sells are not monsters you normally encounter. You might want to try turning some of these corpses into specters, to take advantage of some of the unique abilities that these monsters have.
Minion buff, boys! Oh my god!
The Warlock of the Mists gets access to many other abilities. For example, there is a trio of curses that you can pick from. One of these curses targets your minions, giving them life degen and making them explode for massive damage when they are near
That's
death.
cool!
One of them prevents enemies from dealing damage for the latter portion of its duration, which is quite powerful against bosses. This curse creates the interesting build decision of whether or not you should increase curse duration or reduce it. The final curse is a mark that causes enemy phantasms to be spawned when you hit the marked enemy.
That's cool.
These phantasms aren't on your side, so they work well with on-hit and on-kill trigger effects, for example.
Oh, that's cool!
The Primal Huntress can teach you to become a Wildwood Primalist.
Chieftain buff.
Unlike the other new
They
ascendancies,
explode.
the Primal Huntress lets you customize your tree.
Wait, what? Charms? What are charms?
You do this with charms that you can buy from the Primal Huntress for Vivid Wisps. Charms have randomly generated mods, which give stats from regular Ascendancy classes, allowing you to create your own hybrid Ascendancy class. Charms are magic items that are aligned with different attributes. So for example, this Ursine charm is strength aligned and has gotten the melee hits have a chance to fortify stat from the champion.
I want that.
And the ability to stop your movement speed going below base from the Juggernaut.
What?
This interline Corvine charm lets you get the stat that makes your consecrated ground effects linger from the Inquisitor.
What?
And the effect that makes cursed enemies explode from the Occultist. Some of the combination of mods that you might find for sale on charms can be extremely powerful. So keep a lookout for the Primal Huntress's shop,
Minimum
even
endurance
if you
and
are
power
not playing
charges.
as a Primalist.
Wait, this is crack.
As a Primalist, you also get access to a few other interesting abilities.
You get both. You get an Ascendancy
Use
and this
Warcries
new
next to
Wildwood
corpses
thing.
and they have a chance to drop an extra item.
Oh, we can
It opens
hork.
nearby chests too.
We can hork.
The Primalist also gets access to a small extra backpack, just in case you
We
find
can
yourself
hork!
needing to cart more items to town during your map runs.
Wait, what?
If you are unhappy with the class
Anybody
you picked,
wondering what
or you just
horking
happen to
is?
find
It's a
a really
Diablo
great
2
item
thing
for
where you
another one of the
explode
classes,
corpses for loot.
you are able to change which class you are using next time you find one of the Asmeri Wanderers. Just remember that you will have to do their quests in order to gain the Ascendancy
You
points
can
for
blow
that
up
class.
corpses for loot. That's what horking
These
is.
quests will lead you towards the ultimate goal of the Asmeri: finding the King in the Mists, defeating him, and cleansing the forest of its affliction once and for all.
It means we can roll MF horkers.
There are new uniques to find, rewards to
Group
claim,
play
and
saves,
new Ascendancy
boys!
classes
Group
to
play
master
needs
in the
a
Affliction
horker!
League. Now that we've covered what's in the league, let's talk about some of the changes you can expect to the core game in 3.23. For a start, Ultimatum is finally going core. When talking to players at ExileCon, it was the #1 feature that people requested.
Yeah.
When playing through in-game maps, you may sometimes encounter the Trial Master,
Yes!
who offers you a choice to undertake a deadly Val trial in exchange for great reward.
Oh, I can't wait.
If you defeat the trial, he offers to go double or nothing with you. Do you take the risk and go for an even better reward?
Absolutely. Let's
or do you take the
go.
winnings you have already earned off the table and go home? We've done a full rebalance of Ultimatum and have added many new mods and rewards, including both new and reworked uniques.
What is that? Oh
The
my
base
god, look
number
at
of
that
rounds
ring.
for
That
an
ring's got so many
Ultimatum trial
stats
is now
on it.
always 10, with a chance to spawn the Trial Master boss fight on the 10th round, if you are able to make it that far. As part of 3.23, we have also removed Metamorph from the game. All the Catalyst rewards from Metamorph have now been
Metamorph
moved
is
to be
gone!
rewards for Ultimatum. We have also added a new Val-themed Catalyst that works on corrupted items.
Wait, what? Metamorph
As
is
is
gone?
normal for most content that gets added to in-game, we have introduced new Ultimatum passive skills to the
Hold
Atlas
up.
tree. One great example is the Keystone Grueling Gauntlet. It makes Ultimatums last 3 extra rounds, but you cannot choose the modifiers, and it prevents the final Trial Master boss fight from spawning. The level of challenge becomes extreme during the last 3 rounds, and not being able to choose the modifiers makes it even harder.
I didn't see
But the
that one
rewards are
coming.
insane, and for those with very high-end characters, it might be a bet worth making. There are lots of other Atlas passive skills you can pick from for Ultimatum, so choose wisely. Now, it's time to talk about one of the largest metagame changes we've ever made. There were 3 systems in Path of Exile that were all trying to subtly
way!
modify the behavior of skills. These were alternate quality gems, Labyrinth Helmet enchants, and unique threshold jewels. We've combined all of these together to create a new system called Transfigured Gems that allows us to fully achieve the goal of these 3 systems and then some.
Heist is
Transfigured
dead?
gems are alternative versions of existing skill gems that have different functionality and balance from their regular versions. We have added a huge number of these with interesting variations that drastically change how existing skills play. For example, Frostbomb of Instability. It changes it from a cooldown skill that you can cast occasionally for a large explosion into a skill that you can cast continuously but deals less damage and doesn't apply cold exposure. It changes the role of Frostbomb from a utility skill into a main damaging skill. Another example is Detonate Dead of Scavenging. You can't use it on corpses that were created by Desecrate or Unearth, but in exchange it does a whole lot more damage. You won't be able to use it as your main reliable source of damage, but it's a great skill to use as a 4-link utility to get some extreme
Detonate
burst
dead,
damage.
boys.
Raise Zombie of Falling. Instead of raising a zombie from a corpse, you summon them from midair. They fall to their death, dealing AoE damage where they land. While this sounds like a physical damage version of Firestorm, you should consider that it scales with minion damage and also triggers on-death minion effects. Blight of Contagion.
I'm so.
This version
I
of
have
Blight
no
is now
words for it.
spread by
I'm so
Contagion,
what?
so you can use it as part of your Essence Drain build. We have a huge number of these. Transfigure Firestorm into Firestorm with Meteors, transfigure Blade Trap into Blade Trap of Great Swords, transfigure Barrage into Barrage of Volley Fire, and so on. There is a lot to experiment with, and we look forward to seeing what builds
How
you
do
can
we
come up
get
with.
these?
But how do you get transfigured gems?
No!
The Divine Font at the end of the Eternal Labyrinth has been changed to a gem crafting device that can modify your skill and support gems in a lot of new ways. One of the options you can now choose is to turn a skill gem into one of 3 transfigured gems.
No!
But that isn't all the Divine Font can do. It has a lot of other gem crafting options you can use. For example, you can add quality to gems, add experience to gems, sacrifice a gem for 1 or more treasure keys to open Azaro's chests, and you can even exchange support gems for exceptional support gems like Empower or Enlighten. These are just some of the options you'll find the Divine Font is now capable of. In order to replace the rewards in Heist that previously gave alternate quality gems, we have done a rebalance of the rewards of Heist as well.
Replica Covenant.
Experimented base types have been
Replica
rebalanced.
Covenant.
New replica uniques have been added and old ones changed, and we have increased the amount of currency from display cases as well. On top of this, we have gone through and buffed the quality stats on most damage dealing skills.
Wait,
In most cases, they will be significantly more powerful than before, and also more interesting.
you buffed Tornado
Overall,
Shot?
this is one of the largest metagame shifts that we've ever done. There are so many crazy new skill combinations to plan around, so we expect to see some really interesting new builds. Next up, I'd like to hand back over to Chris to talk
Did
about
they
the new
just
supporter
buff
packs.
Tornado Shot?
At this point, we'd usually talk about the League supporter packs. We're doing things a bit differently this year. Rather than releasing League supporter packs today and then our annual core packs 2 weeks later, we've combined it all together into a strong set of core supporter packs that will be released alongside Path of Exile Affliction next week. The series contains 5 packs, each with its full value in points and a collection of exclusive cosmetic microtransactions. The higher packs contain physical merchandise. We'll unveil the full details of each of the packs at release next week, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek of some of their exclusive cosmetic microtransactions. These packs will be available for purchase when Path of Exile Affliction launches on the 8th of December. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, we'll post Path of Exile Affliction's full patch notes. With the release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for Affliction's release. Keep an eye on the news.
That was crazy.
On release weekend, we expect to launch the new mystery box and this season's Kyrix Vault Pass. Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to exploring the Viridian Wildwood with you next week. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
I don't know. I don't even know. I'm so, oh my God. Metamorph's dead. Heist is done. Like, Tornado Shot got buffed. Like, how does Tornado Shot get buffed? How does Tornado Shot get buffed? I'm so confused. Oh no. Oh my God, I need to process this. Oh my God. They said that Rolling Magma Tornado Shot. I don't know what's going on. I guess with Helm Enchant's gone, they have to do something, right? They took away Helm Enchants. Oh yeah. I'm at a loss for words. All right, I don't know. I've got to get this edited and out and out to you guys. Oh my God.
Welcome for a giant jam-packed
All right, what do you guys
Q&A
think? Let me know.
after a
What do you
huge
guys think? Are you
session.
excited? Are
We
you
have
not?
here
Like,
today
what do we
Chris,
do?
Jonathan, and